things you wish you didn't do this year. Mine's really basic, procrastination.
You can't do that.
Is there anything else you want to accomplish in 2024?
Making money on AdSense and brand deals is great. It's phenomenal. But what's next? I really want to put a lot of time into our... Welcome back to the Blueprint Podcast, where our mission is to educate creators, whether you're a creator right now or you've never made a video in your life. This is going to be a great episode. We have some super exciting things to talk about. But before we get into it, I just want to say, if you guys learn anything or get any value out of this episode, just share it with your friends. That's all we ask for you guys to do. We don't really care if you subscribe or like the video, although that would be nice. But if you share it with your friends, we're trying to spread the message and let more people know about what it means to be a creator so we can help you kind of vision your path of success, avoid problems, failures, frustrations, burnout, and so many other things. But Cedric, what are we talking about today?
Okay.
Bro?
It's December 1st. The recording on this podcast, it's officially December 1st. Dude, we made it to the end of the year. I know there's a whole...
Still alive.
There's still a whole month left, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity to kind of just reflect back at the entire year and go over each of our channels, our platforms, or anything, and kind of just compare where we were at the beginning of the year and where we're at now.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to talk about what are some things that we're happy about that we accomplished, and also some things that we wish we didn't do. And then also the things that we're looking forward to in 2024.
Yeah, so pretty much this episode is specifically going to be about our channels, how we grew, our statistics. We're going to show you guys some analytics, and I think it's going to be really, really cool and insightful. And maybe you'll learn something really cool, or maybe I'll learn something from you.
All right. Well, I advise anybody to kind of just write down your analytics whenever the year starts. This is what I did this year. So on January 1st, I sent a tweet out with my analytics saying, here's what I'm at. Let's see where we're at by the end of the year. So I got them pulled up here. On January 1st, on my TikTok, I had 165.2 thousand followers.
Mm-hmm.
And as of today, as of December 1st, I'm at 300.5 thousand.
Dang.
So the growth skyrocketed.
So
I think that's what, just double the growth, but still, I think that's remarkable.
So one thing I really like to do when comparing growth is to do a percentage increase, because it really shows you how much you grew. So what did you say you grew?
From 165.2 thousand to 300.5 thousand.
To 300. So 165 to 300?
Yeah.
So that is an 81% growth.
Okay.
In 1 year. That is crazy. 81% growth.
That is wild. Putting it in that perspective is crazy.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I've learned on YouTube is when you look at your videos, measure your growth in percentages, because it makes you realize how much more you're growing. Like for example, let's say you are brand new to YouTube and you're only getting 10 views per video. And then in a month, you get 30 views per video. That seems like nothing, right? But that is actually a 200% increase in growth. So a lot of times we see, like, we get 10 views per video and then we get 30 and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm still getting 30 views per video. This is terrible. I need 1,000 views. But in reality, you just grew 200%. So
I mean, yeah, when you put it in that perspective, it probably makes you feel good about yourself.
it really helped me when I was growing my channel. It just helped me kind of realize like how much I really was growing, because I would go from like 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers and I'd be like, dang, I feel like I hardly grew because I'm still trying to get to 100K. But in reality, that's a lot. That's a huge growth. So just a little insight tip.
No, I like that. On YouTube, January 1st, it's at 8,927 subscribers. And then as of December 1st, 54,243. We're over halfway to that YouTube plaque, man. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that.
Do you want to hear the percentage on that one? You said 8,000 to 54,000?
Yeah.
506% growth.
You're like filling my brain with dopamine.
Dude,
right
that's
now.
a 500% growth in 1 year.
That's crazy.
That's pretty wild.
All right. We got and then I got my Instagram. January 1st, 19.3 thousand. And then as of today, we're sitting at a comfortable 67.2 thousand.
That'd be 248% growth.
Wow. That
It's pretty good, dude.
It's pretty solid growth this year. And keep in mind, I'm growing these platforms while working a full-time job still.
Yeah.
And I know that I know the periods of time where my channels were growing, and I also know where they slowed down because I slowed down like heavily.
Yeah.
Whether it was just because work got too busy or I overworked myself and I burnt myself out a little bit. But I think like anybody can grow that much in a year working a full-time job.
Yeah.
And being a creator.
I mean, you're a living example of it being possible. And Cedric works, for those of you guys that are unfamiliar, Cedric works for me. He helps with a lot of our video production and all that kind of stuff. He also does everything for the Blueprint show, like everything for the podcast, for the episodes, the thumbnails, the distribution across Apple Podcasts, what you're listening to on right now, all of that stuff. So he's got his hands full with still balancing creative, reviewing our videos, helping us with creative, a bunch of stuff like that. So, and then all of your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's why everything is short form. And that's why I can never like commit to long form yet. Cause like long form just takes forever.
Yeah.
Whereas like short form, I could come home from work and crank out like 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But never YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But do you know your analytics from the beginning of the year to now?
So my numbers are big, but my percentage is decreasing.
Oh, wow. Really? Whoa.
So I don't actually know the subscriber count.
Mm-hmm.
I know the subscriber count increased. What we're going to do here is we're specifically only going to look at the statistics on the Unspeakable channel because it's my biggest channel. It's the channel I put the most amount of time into. So I feel like that only makes sense.
Yeah.
So in 2022, that channel gained 2.1 billion views. In 2023 so far, we've gained 1.5 billion views. So that would actually be a decrease of, let me see. So from 1.5 to, what did I say? 2. That'd be a 46% decrease in views.
Dang. And
Channel's dying, bro.
No, it can't.
Channel's dying.
Do you know
It's
why?
actually dying. So right off the bat, I know the reason for this is because we uploaded probably about 40 to 50% less videos in 2023 than we did 2022. I think in 2022, we uploaded around 60 plus videos. Mm-hmm. And in 2023, I think we've only put out like 34.
Oh, wow. So like half.
Yeah.
Wow. That's actually crazy.
So it makes sense that our views are down that much because we cut our uploads so hard. But the good thing is we are still actually doing the same, if not more views per video, even though we're doing less videos. So overall, the channel views are lower, but our views per video have stayed the same. And obviously our quality has gone up substantially. The ideas, the editing, everything about these videos has gone up and up and up. Wow. So I find myself that each year I do YouTube, I upload less and less and less, not because I'm just putting less time into it, but because we're just putting more thought into each video.
And they essentially take more time rather than less. Mm-hmm. That is super interesting to see that the channel is like, it may feel like people are going to be like, oh, your channel's dying. You're screwed, man. It's over. But in reality, it's because you're just putting more time and effort into these projects.
And this could also be a factor of many things too. It could be, there's a lot of economic cycles on YouTube that if you've been on YouTube for a really long time, you would see them. There's some years that YouTube just gets more views than others. Like more people are just on the platform. So that's one thing to consider. I don't know if that necessarily takes into effect for this year versus last year, because I don't know like YouTube statistics like of the whole platform. But there's years, like there's record-breaking years in the past where YouTube has had an insane amount of people on the platform, and it helps everyone on the platform, right? Because the economy is very healthy. A lot of more people on the platform, a lot more people are watching stuff. So that could be another factor as well. But on a channel of this size, on a channel this big, there's so many things that impact it. But I think that uploading less is the number one thing that impacted the views for sure.
Dang. But still an upward trajectory from like a really far perspective, if that makes sense.
Yeah, if you zoom out and look at the big picture of all the years adding up, our views are still definitely down, but it's like YouTube is just one of those things where you got to understand like YouTube is just an up and down process. Like there's a very few amount of channels that just go straight up for years and years and years. It's up 1 year, down 1 year, up 1 year, down 1 year. Like it's really just,
It's like Bitcoin.
I mean, even if you look at here's 2022, like look at how many ups and downs.
Oh yeah.
So that's 2.1 billion views, but it's like throughout the whole year, it's just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, like the entire year, every single week, every single day. I mean, even right now, like if I look at our real time right now is 5.2 million, which is like extremely low for us. That's in the last 48 hours. Usually we're sitting at around 10 million. That's like our average.
10 million real time is the average.
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
That's about our average, but it's low right now. The reason I think it's low right now is because it's the beginning of December. A lot of people are doing finals. School is getting really busy. We get most amount of our views, and I think this is with a lot of YouTubers, not just us, but we get all of our views pretty much during the summer. That's when we have the biggest spikes. For the past 4 years straight, every single summer, like July and August, you can just see the views just like go up like crazy. Because I mean, no one's doing anything in the summer. Everyone's just hanging out on YouTube, watching videos, watching movies, whereas, school seasons end, people are busy. People are in college, high school. They got sports, they got finals, they got families. They're traveling for Thanksgiving, Christmas, all these things. So there's just a lot going on. People are just busier. They're spending less time online. So
yeah, well, the year's just ending. But with the year ending, is there anything that you're like super happy about that you accomplished with the Unspeakable channel?
I'm really happy with all the videos we put out. I remember like a long time ago, like probably like 3 years ago, I was in a headspace where I was just putting out videos that we weren't really like, I wasn't really loving them. Like I wouldn't get excited for a video to go out. Whereas now I'm like so excited for a video. Like I'm so excited to the point where like almost every video that we've uploaded this year, the night before, I will literally like think about the video when I like go to sleep. Like I'll be thinking about it. Like I'm so excited for tomorrow morning to release this video, like legit excitement. Whereas like a couple years ago, it wasn't like that. Like I think I was getting burnt out making content like a couple years ago, but maybe I didn't want to admit it, or maybe I didn't know it was burnout, but I just wasn't passionate about the videos we were making. It was just because all the videos were so repetitive. They were doing great. That's the crazy thing is they were doing so well. They were doing, 4, 5, 6 million views every video we put out. But they were just like, I was just like, I just don't like these videos. Like they're, so yeah, I think that's the thing that I'm super proud of is the fact that we can put out videos that I'm truly passionate about. I love every second of them. Like the video that's going up tomorrow, we have these cars and we sent them through a bunch of tests. It's called Lamborghini versus Giant Speed Bump. By the time this podcast goes up, it'll already be up. But I've watched this video, like I'm talking about the final cut of the video that's going live. I've watched it like 4 or 5 times. The final cut. All the revisions I've watched probably 8 times. I don't know. So it's like, it's not often that before you put up a video, you watch it 5 times in a row. The final version of it that's already like published,
Yeah, that video in particular is interesting because you could see the genuine excitement on
Dude,
your face.
it was so fun.
Yeah.
So fun to film that video.
I think that's the most important thing when making videos is actually having fun. I wrote down some stuff that I'm happy I accomplished this year. Number one being signing with an agency and just securing like so many different brand deals. I think I've generated like 75 to 80,000 in brand deals this year.
Dang.
And this is my first year of consistent brand deals. So small creators like you guys can be making really good money. It's just you have to work with the right brands and also make sure that you're just not getting gypped by them.
Yeah.
So that's why I think an agency was super important because they saw value in me and also like what I could bring to them, but also like all the stuff they bring to me, which is what a great relationship. They're awesome.
Sick.
Also traveling for these brand events, recently flying out to LA for Polestar. Like that was really cool being able to go to like my first tech keynote. That was pretty dope. Going to the 100 Thieves compound a couple times, going to some store openings. Like like I've always wanted to travel for work related stuff, and being able to do it, like it's been really fun.
Yeah.
Another one is finding that group of 3 to 5 creators that you talk to on a daily basis. I think I found that this year, and it's been great because we're always just like giving each other feedback. I think that's just super important, especially
So
if you're
important.
like a creator my size or even smaller. Like finding creators that are not even in a similar follower range as you, but just the same niche, and you guys could just talk back and forth, give your videos to each other, give each other feedback. Like that's huge.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn a lot from each other, and I'm really happy that I found that this year because it's there's not many people in Houston that like I could talk to about content stuff, and you're like millions of years ahead, so it's hard, and you're also in a different niche, so it's really hard to just like
Yeah.
be a little bit relatable there.
Yeah. I feel you.
And then finally is kind of just finding the style within my content, trying to figure out what that is, and like I think I'm nailing it down, but also not only finding my style, but building my community and developing my content further. So those are some of my top things that I'm happy I accomplished in 2023.
That's huge. Yeah.
Things you wish you didn't do this year.
Wish I didn't do.
Yeah. Not so much regret, but just like, ah, man, I shouldn't have done that. You know, mine's really basic. It's just, and I still deal with this like since yesterday, was just procrastination. I find myself just sitting at my desk sometimes at home, just on my phone, consuming content rather than creating it.
Yeah.
And when I catch myself, I get so pissed off. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm being dumb. I'm being so dumb. So I want to improve my discipline when it comes to that. And then also to counter that is overworking. So you got to find the balance between not procrastinating and overworking. I think I overworked myself to the point where I was burnt out and then I didn't want to create anything. And that was pretty recent. That was probably like in the last 3 months or so. And honestly, I'm still recovering from the burnout. It's been brutal. But I think next year, don't overwork, find like that good balance. Those are my 2 things I wish I didn't do.
Yeah. Things I wish I didn't do. It's tough, dude. There's a lot of things. I should just look at all the videos that
The
have
trampoline
failed.
video.
I should just look at all the videos that we spent $100,000 on and got 1 million views. No, I mean, I think we did a lot of things right this year. I think like I don't really have anything specific. I'm a pretty disciplined person when it comes to my content, obviously, and our team and everything we do when it comes to pushing out videos. But one thing I wish I was more disciplined on is like going to the gym.
Yeah, bro. Oh my gosh.
Because like a lot of people say, and I've heard this a lot, and I do think it's true to some extent, is that if you get disciplined in one area, it will kind of rub off in others. And I 100% agree with that. I think like if you can get disciplined, in the gym, then maybe you can get more disciplined at your job or creating content. But for me, it just like that just never happened. Like I am very disciplined with my content and everything we do, but like it never rubbed off in the sense of like me wanting to get disciplined in the gym. I think it's maybe because I'm a very motivated, inspired, passionate person when it comes to things I spend my time on. Like I really like cars, very inspired, very passionate about cars. Look at cars for sale every morning. And I also love making videos, but maybe with the gym, I just wasn't inspired. So I didn't like I don't really care to get like super ripped or like have a 6-pack. Like that stuff's cool, but it doesn't really motivate me. Like I just want to be healthy. That's it. So I think maybe that's one of the reasons that I didn't like do the gym as much. I don't know. I mean, I still went to the gym a lot, but like
not as much as you'd like.
Yeah. And also like our schedule is so all over the place. Like we have videos where sometimes we film for 24 hours. We film like in other places. We film in the middle of nowhere, like when we're tornado hunting and there is no gym. So it's just like once you get like off, like the tornado trip completely threw me off. We were traveling through all the nights, all of this stuff. Some of the hotels did have gyms, but it's like right when we woke, like we'd get like 6 hours sleep, wake up, be back on the road. Like it was like brutal. And I had to like sleep as much as I could so I could save my energy for filming and stuff like that. So, cause my focus was the video, but like that before that tornado trip, I was going to the gym a lot. And then after that, I just fell off and just didn't go. So I wish that in 2024 I could get more disciplined in other areas. that are outside of YouTube. I think that would be nice.
Yeah, the gym is brutal. And I think it's literally because for me, I'm at the gym and I'm like, this is so boring and I could be making videos right now.
That's my thing. But I'm also like, I don't want to get fat
I know,
and
right?
and unhealthy and like,
I don't want to do a bounty hunter video
you
and then
know,
you can't run away from him.
and I know that being healthy and going to the gym is so good for my mind as well. It's not even just about your physical body, but your
Yeah.
mind. It's very, very healthy for your mind and a lot of other things. But it's just like, yeah, I have that same thing. I'm like doing, some reps on the bench press, and I'm like, yeah, I could be planning videos right now. I could be thinking of some banger ideas, like, But I think it's just, I think the thing is just the level of obsession, passion, and discipline towards making videos versus working out. Making videos is just like 5 times higher. So of course, when you go to the gym, you're gonna want to keep making videos because you're not as passionate about the gym.
Yeah.
But also, you got to realize how important it is, and you got to realize how important it's going to be in your future when when maybe you can't make videos because you're old.
Yeah. I also think
You know?
like the discipline rubbing off into different areas, I think that applies for bad habits as well.
Yeah.
Because I think I have spiraled down a really bad habit of just like skipping the gym. And then now when I get home, I've been skipping videos. It's been bad,
Yeah.
dude.
Yep.
Also, Spider-Man, I procrastinated because of video games. They brought OG Fortnite back. Bro, I'm so glad it leaves tomorrow because every like night I'm like, all right, I got 4 videos to film. The next day, all right, we're gonna add another video because I didn't film any of those. So they've just been stacking. I have like 7 videos I could film, but I've just been playing OG Fortnite. So my discipline has been on a heavy decline. But it's the end of the year, man. Let me reward myself a little bit. But you see that? See that? I just rewarded myself
Yeah.
for
See. That's you can't do that.
inconsistencies.
You can't do that.
No bueno, dude.
You can't do that.
Well, that's going to go into the next one. What do we hope to accomplish in 2024? You obviously said you want to work on things that are kind of outside of the content creation space, but what are some other things if you can think of any?
I really want to put a lot of time into our CPG products company, Juice Blocks. Juice
Did that
Snacks.
start this year or was it last year?
Yeah, 6 months ago.
Wow. Do you know? Okay, going back to earlier in the stats portion of this pod, do you know the stats of Juice Blocks and how much of it's performed or how well it's performed?
I'm not sure what I can share, but it's doing incredibly well.
Yeah.
It is selling, I can say this, merchandise. When we launched merchandise years ago, it like almost makes as much as some of the YouTube channels, like our merchandise, and Juice Blocks is making like 5 times that.
Wow.
So, but it's a lot different because it's a CPG brand, so it requires a lot of capital. The margins are much slimmer. So there's a lot of caveats there, but I'm just super excited for that brand because it's just like, if you think about it, for the past 10 years, I've been building a marketing company with no product. Unspeakable is just a giant marketing company with no product to sell but our videos. And in reality, if you actually look at media as a source of revenue, it's not a very good source of revenue. Ad revenue, like making money on advertisements, like yes, you can make a lot of money. I'm not saying you can't, but like compared to products and the other things, and like it's also not very scalable because being a creator relies on yourself. So once you get to a certain point and you start making a ton of money, you're like, okay, where do I go now? Because you're like, I can't clone myself. I can't like, so what do I do? So the reason I'm so excited about Juice Blocks is it's something that can grow beyond Unspeakable. A perfect example is like Prime by Logan Paul. I have seen so many people with Prime bottles, and I'll ask them, I'll be like, yo, you like Logan Paul? Some of them won't even know who Logan Paul is. Like Prime has gone way past Logan Paul and KSI's audience in terms of how big that brand's gotten. So it's something really exciting. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm excited to work hard on because there's so many moving pieces to that. But I think that's going to be really cool.
Yeah, to bounce off that, we'll take turns here. But mine is kind of related to, not necessarily product goods like that, but mine's kind of just, one is a milestone goal of hitting 6 figures in revenue or brand revenue. which we're already like closing in on it, which is insane. But another one is just expanding my streams of income when it comes to being a creator. So not just relying on brand deals, because I mean, there'll be a day where brands just don't want to work with you anymore, and then you kind of just screwed yourself.
Yep.
So I think like AdSense is going to be huge for me as well. But also, like you said, CPG. But I kind of want to do like digital goods, whether it's like preset packs for editing or like LUT packs or wallpapers, icons, stuff like that. Really simple stuff that I could do at home that I could just micromanage. Like
Yeah.
I don't have to go to someone who can scale an entire business. You know, it's just something really small. I think that's going to be huge. I've talked to some of my other creator friends who do that, and they're generating like passively like 5K a month, which is nice because that's a mortgage, bro. That's nice.
No, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
No, I mean like that stuff is good because you're kind of learning to build other things other than just making money with either AdSense or brand deals. Because making money on AdSense and brand deals is great. It's phenomenal. But what's next?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
What goes beyond
There's-
you as a creator?
yeah. So that's when you really got to think like, okay, is this all I want to do? Or is like, do I want to keep growing? I need to push the limits and go into other industries. I want to, just do things different. Cause like I said, AdSense, you can make a ton of money on YouTube for sure. As we can see, there's tons of creators that make a ton of money, but like media is one of those things where like a lot of companies do not make money on media. Like media is a negative category of almost like every company out there, unless you're like making movies. But like the point is like media is not really supposed to make a lot of money. Like it like I've talked to so many guys with like massive companies, companies that are worth 500, 800 billion dollars. And they're like, we'd never make money on media. And the fact that you're making money on media is crazy. And the fact that you don't have a product is even crazier. He was like, if you're making, 8 figures a year on media, you could be making 10 on a product. Like that is just wild, So it's just like, it's something that as a creator, we don't really think about. But a perfect example is I found this girl the other day, and she only has like, I forget her name, but she sells bikinis on TikTok. I think she has like under 1 million followers. This girl's making like 5 million a year just selling bikinis.
I'm about to start selling some.
But the point is like she learned how to build a product with her audience. Like that's where.
I mean, we're seeing a
where it's
lot
at.
of that lately.
Yeah.
Pokemon selling cookies. Your mom Ashley is selling. I think it's called matcha. Match. I don't know what it's called, but she like bought a farm in Japan or something like that. She's like developing her own stuff there. I mean, KSI, Logan Paul, Prime, Feastables.
The other thing is like nailing the media portion. What we do is one of the hardest things to actually master. Whereas making a product and doing some of the other things are a lot easier. I'm not saying they're easy. I'm just saying they're easier than building an entire audience and uploading thousands of YouTube videos and harnessing all these fans. Like that stuff takes so long compared to like, oh, let's make apple juice, So it's just one thing to think about. But
yeah, and especially like as a creator, you already have a big audience that you could leverage to advertise your product and already get that business going. Whereas if you started from scratch, like it's hard to just start a business from the bottom.
yeah,
So whenever you already have such a big audience to help you out, like that's a plus. Is there anything else you want to accomplish in 2024?
I don't really have like specific. I used to like set goals on a year by year basis, but I kind of fell out of it because like I really only have a couple goals in terms of like my goals for Unspeakable are really simple. Like make the best ideas we can with the resources that we have and the team we have, and always push the boundaries and get uncomfortable in making really, really good videos. And that overall describes like our entire purpose or mission for the channel is just to make the best videos we can. Like if we're making the best videos we can and we're learning from them, applying them to the next, like there's not much else we can do. So it's like, I don't really have specific goals for that channel. And I do highly recommend people to make goals for your channel, but you also have to understand that like I am from the outside, it looks like I'm a full-time YouTuber, but in reality, like I'm not spending as much time as I used to on YouTube anymore because there's so many other things that I'm focusing on, like this, So, but
No more trampoline videos.
no more trampoline videos.
More natural disaster hunting videos.
Yeah, we need to hunt like a volcano or something next. That tornado video did too good.
I'm trying to think of like what we did this year as a company that we want to like accomplish again in 2024. I think something that we've done this year is find really good people to like join the team.
Yeah, I could agree with that. But I think those people have also been built over time.
Yeah,
That's
true.
Like there's a lot of people on the team that have been here for like years and years. So it's like your relationship with those people just kind of compounds in a sense. Yeah, I'm really proud of our team. Our team is really solid. We don't really hire a lot of people. I've talked to many creators that go through very rigorous hiring cycles and they hire 10, fire 8 and all this stuff.
It's
And
like the Hunger Games out there.
I'm just very, very selective on the people that we pick. And I like to work with them for a long time so I can see them build. Because it's really hard to see how someone's going to perform in a 2 to 3 month window. And some people might argue with me and be like, oh, I can see how they perform in the first week. But like they're getting adjust. Like our space is so different compared to like typical media that it's like people just have to adjust. And I've seen so many people where I've had someone for, let's say 6 months and they're underperforming and we're about to fire them. And I'm like, wait, let's move them over here. And then they just shine. And I'm just like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, it's not even about like getting the right people, but also putting the right people in the right places for the right opportunities. But yeah, I agree. I think we have like a really solid team. It's nice.
50 employees coming up. No, I'm just kidding.
1,000.
No.
No.
No, dude,
Why no?
Big teams like that, it's like I feel like even if you had 400 people, you probably would never meet like half of them.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't.
You probably would never see half of them.
Yeah.
It's just insane to me, and like I that's never like put in perspective until I talk to some people who have worked a part of teams that are that big, and I'm like, dang, you probably never see like that department or this department.
Yeah.
Like you're just in your little zone. But for us, that little zone is the entire company.
Yeah. Once your company gets that big, it's kind of scary because it's just like, you just like don't meet people. You forget people's names. Like, 'cause, I mean, there's so many, like there's hundreds of people. Like, I mean, look at it. Look at Amazon with Jeff Bezos, 1.7 or 2 million employees.
Oh my God.
You think Jeff Bezos has met every single employee? Absolutely not.
Probably if he put a Amazon Echo in everyone's house
mean,
and looks through their cameras, says, give me your Bezos bucks.
But like, yeah. I mean, that's just like a whole nother conversation. But
Then the last thing I want to accomplish in 2024, and I think every creator, this is as cliche as it sounds, is to just have fun with the process of creating rather than focusing on the outcome of each video. We've really gotten to this like stage of YouTube where everything is the algorithm, everything is retention, everything is always about your analytics. Who did we talk to last week? We talked to Gavin, who has been making the same style video for 13 years. And his reasoning is literally he just wants to capture the best slow motion content ever. He doesn't change anything about it. So I think just having fun with the entire process is what makes YouTube YouTube.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's one thing I really love about YouTube is there's so many people that do things in so many different ways. And ultimately to find success, we can give you the blueprint, as you might say. Or the strategies and the tactics to know how to make a good video and know what to avoid and failures and so many things. But at the end of the day, to become a true artist, to become a true creator, you almost have to forget everything and rewrite the roadmap. And sometimes common sense can limit like your ability to grow in a way. So I think like it's hard to explain, but it's like someone like Gavin, right? Like I probably would have given him so many ways to do things differently, but ultimately he turned out so good because his passion was so true and deep to just making the best slow-mo videos. Whereas my passion was totally different. I just wanted to make hundreds of Minecraft videos and get millions of followers. Like that was legit my passion. I wanted to have 1 million subscribers. I wanted to be famous. I wanted everyone to watch my videos. That was like my driving factor. So it's like everyone has a different driving factor. But the question is like not what your driving factor is about, but like how much does it drive you, right? So I think ultimately that kind of depicts what your success is going to be.
Yeah. All right. And to close, or as a last little category, I want to talk about the Blueprint podcast, which we started, 3 months ago? And since we upload on Spotify, Spotify has given us the Spotify Wrapped, which is basically a rundown of our entire year. So I'm going to pull it up here on the TV if I can.
Oh, yeah.
Go full on animation. All right. So what's interesting about the Blueprint podcast is that we started it 3 months ago. We've never done podcasting before.
Nope.
It's been a blast. I've been enjoying. I mean, look at these mics. That's how dedicated to the cause we are. I did get a complaint. We need to turn these white. Someone said, please, for the love of God, make these white.
We'll work on it.
By 2024, we will have white mic
Budget
stands.
cuts. The channel isn't even freaking monetized yet. But then again, we're not doing this to make money. But still, like.
All right. In 2023, people were really, really feeling what you do. Is that so? Let's check out what stats we got here. Ready to take it from the top? You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Our top episode was 0 to 35 million subscribers in 10 years, which is, I'm pretty sure, the first episode we've ever uploaded on Spotify. It was streamed 120% more than your average episode. So they're going in percentages.
Yeah, see? Percentages are powerful. When in reality, that number is probably like that number is probably like 10 and 12, and they're like, 120. I don't even think that math checks out, but whatever.
How does it feel to have gone global? We got some people around the world listening in. You were streamed in 12 countries, with the United States being the top country.
That's kind of cool.
68% of your total streams. USA.
It'll be really interesting to see how much this podcast grows next year.
Yeah.
When we look at this a year from now, and we'll be able to show you guys and share with you guys all the strategies of what we learned about a podcast, how we were able to grow it, because we're in the growth right now.
We're learning how to do all of this.
Like, I've never done a podcast in my life, so
our most new listeners are in the United States, Australia, and the United Kingdom. So
shout out to
all of you guys.
Shout out to you guys. If you're listening in another country, let me know in the comment section below.
Should we do a world tour? I don't know. Let me know.
Yeah, dude, I'm like down. World tour.
Blueprint PJ. Your listeners have good taste. So what else are they into? Oh, this might be showing us some other pods, maybe. Oh, your listeners' top podcast genres were comedy, business, society, and culture.
Comedy is interesting. We need to get the business one up because I feel like our
funny?
podcast is more about business. Are we really
We're
funny?
definitely not
I
funny.
never have laughed at a podcast that we made.
Yeah, me neither. Top music genres: pop, rap, rock. Checks out.
Interesting.
They really go into detail here. Your listeners definitely told their friends about you.
It works. I tell everyone to share the show.
Your podcast was shared all over. 72% were direct links.
Guys, share the show.
14% was Instagram.
Thank you for the ones that have shared the show.
14% were text.
But that's the only way we're going to grow this podcast.
Yep.
We're not making super clickable YouTube videos like I do on my channel or like Mr. Beast does. Like, we're trying to just educate. So if you have a friend that wants to be a creator, send them the podcast because you might save them years of time learning about what it means to be a creator.
True.
Because I had to figure all this stuff out myself. There was no roadmap.
There was no
blueprint. That's why we're calling it Blueprint. So we want to help you build the blueprint.
Our most shared episode was 0 to 35 million subscribers, which
Nice.
is our most listened to episode.
Makes sense.
We got a 4.8. Who did not hit 5 stars on Spotify?
Who gave us a low rating? I want to talk to this person. Get them on the phone.
I would just like honest feedback.
Yeah.
I'm not even mad.
I'm not going to like.
I would love to know where we can improve.
I'm not going to like do anything. I'm just.
I just want to know.
Yeah.
What did you not like?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Was it the amount of times you've mentioned how no one asked for the iPod?
That's a good reference, bro. It's a really good reference. I'm just being honest. No one. Hey.
No.
No. Listen.
I already know what you're gonna say. I don't even want to hear it.
No one asked Gavin to start a slow-mo show, but he did because he loved it.
Okay. Yeah. That's
My
good.
point is.
That's a good point. That's a great.
My
point.
point is, no one's asking you to be a YouTuber but yourself. So if you really want it, you'll figure out a way to get it.
That's beautiful. We created 8 Q&As. Didn't know we did that. 4 responses. Don't know what that's all about.
Can't forget to give a shout out to your biggest fan. Who's our biggest fan?
Ooh, where are our biggest
Is it gonna
fans
show?
at? You're a top 10 podcast for 63 people.
Ooh, let's go.
I really am
63
excited.
people.
I'm truly excited to see the next year's stats.
Yeah.
Like that could be 6,000 people.
That'll be
next
sick.
year.
That'll be sick.
That would be crazy.
63 for the 63 people that were the top 10. Thank you. We will continue to deliver this beauty of a podcast to you till the day we die.
We're a top 5 podcast for 49 fans.
Ooh, top 5.
Okay.
Top 1 maybe? Is
Sure.
that a thing?
Oh,
drum
there we
roll,
go.
please. Oh,
Number 1 podcast for 25 people.
25 people.
Okay. Shout out to you 25. Reveal yourself. And don't lie, because I know.
And the crowd goes wild.
When we go on tour, you guys are going to be the first ones in line. What a year. Top 10, 63 fans. Top 5, 49.
Nice.
Top podcast for 25 fans. Let's go, dude. Blueprint, thank you for
Sick.
sharing your podcast with the world.
And thank you guys for watching. And that's the end of the episode.
All right.